Okay, let's start with the little curly Q that goes on top of the head. So you're going to make your slip knot with your yellow yarn, and you're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so now in the second chain from the hook, and I do this in the back loop only, you're going to make 3 single crochet in that one stitch. So 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to do the same thing across the whole chain, the next 3 stitches. You're going to make 3 single crochet in each one. Just make a tiny curly Q or a little feather, whatever you want to call it. And then we're going to sew it onto the top of the head. Alright, and at the end of this you will have 12 single crochet in your chain, and it will curl like that. Okay, so cut your yarn with a tail so we can use it to sew. And finish that off. And then I go ahead and weave in your little short tail here. Get that out of our way. Okay. Little curly Q, isn't that cute? All right, and weave your long tail, or put your needle on your long tail. Let's go ahead and sew that on top of the head, and I just sew it right to the center, right over that hole at the very beginning of our body pattern. And then I just go up through the bottom of it just a couple of times. To get it good and secured on there. Oop. All right, and then I just weave that in through the curly Q, and then cut your yarn. All right, and then you might have to shape it a little bit. There we go. Very cute. All right, so still with your yellow yarn, we are now going to make the wings. I'm going to show you how to make one, and then you can pause it and make the second one, and then we'll sew them on. Okay, so grab your yellow yarn again. This will be the last things we make with the yellow. I can find the end here. Okay, so we're going to start with a magic ring, and we're going to put 5 single crochet into the ring. So do your chain 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pull your string. Okay, so for round 2, we are going to increase in each stitch around. So you're going to put 2 single crochet in each of those 5 stitches. So at the end of round 2, you'll have 10 stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, it's the end of round 2. So for rounds 3 and 4, you're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So you'll have 10 stitches for both rounds. So 10 stitches for round 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then do the exact same thing for round 4. I also, at this point, go ahead and just cut that little tail off. Get that out of the way. Okay, round 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so that's 4 rounds. So the last round, round 5, we are going to decrease 5 times around. So decrease over the first 2. That's 1. Decrease over the next 2. That's 2. And do that 3 more times. It's 3. 4, and 1 more time. 5, and then slip stitch in that next stitch to finish it off. Cut your tail, pull your yarn through, and we have 1 wing made. So go ahead and hit pause and make your second wing, and then we'll come back and sew them onto the body. Okay, now that we have our wings done, we're going to sew across the top of the wings to close that opening. So just kind of weave your yarn back and forth through those top stitches to close them. You're not going to stuff your wings unless you prefer to. Definitely can if you like that look better, but I think they look cute flat like this. All right, I already sewed the first one on, and you're going to sew them onto the sides of the body 1 row under where you put your eyes. Okay, make sure they're even on both sides, and then just sew it on. Just with a little whip stitch here. Once you get across the top, just weave your needle through the wing just to secure that and keep it from unraveling. And that's that. All right, so get those sewn on, and we are done with our yellow yarn. Next, you're gonna want to get out your orange yarn. We are going to make the beak next, and then the feet. Okay, for the beak, super easy. It's only 2 rounds. We're going to start with our magic ring, and you're going to put 6 single crochet in your ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then for round 2, we're just going to single crochet 1 in each stitch around, so round 2 will also have 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Kind of poke that out. Pull your yarn, make sure it's good and tight. I cut that extra tail off. And then slip stitch in that very next stitch to finish it off. And cut your tail. Alright, let's go ahead and sew that on. I don't stuff this either. I just keep it flat and go ahead and do like we did with the wings, and let's close that together. Just find it makes it a lot easier to sew on that way. Okay, and there's our beak, and let's get it sewn on. Right below the eyes. Okay, and just sew across, just like we did with the wings. You can go under, and then I go on top as well, just to make sure it's good and sewed on both top and bottom, so it's not flopping around any. Alright, and then weave that end in. And cut your yarn. And the beak is done. Super cute. Okay, so now we're going to make the feet, and they're also really quick and easy. I've already made one, so I'll show you how to make one, and then you can make the other, and we'll sew those on. Okay, we are going to start orange yarn and a magic ring. Okay, do your chain 1. Now for our first stitch, we're going to make a single crochet, just 1. For our next 2 stitches, we're going to do half double crochets. So 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochet, and the last stitch is going to be another single crochet. So you're going to have 4 stitches: single crochet, half double crochet, single crochet. Tighten your ring, and then slip stitch to that very first single crochet that we made. All right, and then cut your yarn. And then I go ahead, since this is so small, I just weave that in the back end. Like this. And now we can sew the feet on. All right. So these you're going to want to put a little lower because we need room to put our bow. And so let's see. I'd go 1, 2, 3. Put it like the 4th row down, and a little bit of space in between each foot, and just sew around the foot until you get back to the beginning, and then weave your ends in. are almost finished. So the last thing we're gonna make is the tiny little bow. And I think on mine, I'm gonna put my bow up here. Make it a girl chick this time, but you can put it up here or down here, whichever you prefer. And let's get our blue yarn out. Okay, so for our bow, let's make our slip knot. And then we are going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then for this round, we're going to single crochet across our chain. So you'll have 3 single crochets. And then at the end, chain 1, turn it, and then go back across the top of that and put 3 more single crochet atop. And then we will finish off there. All right, let's go ahead and weave both of those ends in. All right, then we will use the blue yarn again, and we're going to wrap it around the center to form our bow. And you only have to wrap it a few times because it's so tiny. Kind of move it around if you need to. Okay. Cut your yarn, and then we're gonna weave that through the back so it secures it. Grab your needle, and then through the back of that, I just weave it underneath the knot we just made a couple of times, back and forth. Like that. And so here's our little bow, and we can go ahead and sew it onto the top, or you can put it here, or I'm going to put mine up here. And that is the last thing until our little chick is finished. Okay, make sure you weave it in through the side of one of the sides of the bow so it does not come off. Get that secured on there and cut your yarn. And your little roly-poly duckling is finished. If you enjoyed the roly-poly duckling pattern, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You can check out my website for more patterns, or here on YouTube I have plenty of videos that you can make more cute amigurumi dolls. I'll see you next time.